Hey, good day to all of you. My name is Blair and welcome to another OS operating system. Today we're gonna talk about the latest edition of Endeavour OS Linux, just launches a few weeks ago. So let's dive into our boxes, which is the Genome boxes. So let's go to our Endeavour, which is the code name Galileo last November 2023. Let's click this one and open full screen. So as you can see, we will go to our default. Now it is loading, so let's wait for a couple of seconds to load everything. So as you can see, the codes and all the information are being processed, and it is okay and finished and ready to go. This was released last 17th of November 2023 by the Endeavour organization that leads the Endeavour OS Linux. Alright, so we are now into our desktop environment. Let's correct this one first because the display is not in the correct dimension or ratio, so we gonna keep that in that position. So this is the Galileo codename of the Endeavour OS, which released last November 17th 2023. This is a rolling release, so it is not like the other OS which you always constantly changing or reinstalling the operating system. This one is just rolling and it will up to date. Of course, it will have some problems along the way, but you can reverse it into your old ISO image by using the time shift. So we are now in our welcome page. As you can see, this is not your ordinary flagship desktop environment of the FXCE, but it is now using the KDE. The story goes that the original or the long time software engineers and developers of this Endeavour OS was already retiring, and they have the second in line developers, which is more on the KDE. So that is why we have the KDE as the flagship desktop environment. So let's try to install this one first before anything else, because in the previous OS that I covered is actually having some problems with the installing, like the live environment, and I could not even open some games. Some of the viewers and commenters on the YouTube channel is complaining about it, but as I said on the video that I could not do anything about it because it was stated on the page that you will encounter some of the problems along the way if you are using the live boot session. That is why I have that problem in the first place. So that is my explanation on the problem that arise on that particular operating system last time. So as you can see, I'm putting all the inputs on our desktop right now. Just follow me as I just talk to you and install this one and talk about what happened. OS, operating system, a choice, and up to date, as they are voluntarily and being paid. Come to think of it, this operating system, beautiful and pleasing to the eyes actually. So as you can see, the Endeavour operating system, apps and administration and so on are all being paid by volunteers from the community, including me. I'm also helping this as promoting our uh, Linux operating system, GNU Linux operating system, through my channel, so that the newcomer, not only for the old timers of Linux user, but also the newcomer, especially my students. We're trying to play with GNU Linux operating system uh, through my classes, and some of them are using my YouTube channel to know and to gain knowledge about this operating system, which is free, open source, and you can download and see the source code if you wanted to. So let's wait for this to load everything and be back in a short while. So anyway, we are now back and it's all done. Let's restart our computer and let's see the outcome of this Endeavour OS Galileo operating system by GNU Linux kernel. So we are now starting our GNU Linux operating system with the Endeavour OS based on Arch, and we are now waiting for the final of these codes to be loaded. So of course you have to enter your password before you enter your operating system as a security measure. So we are now have this after installation, after this graphic info, we have this welcome page. After the installation, you have to click this everything so that it will work properly. So let's click this one first, up to update worldwide. How about here in Asia? We have Thailand. Do we have? Yes, we have Thailand. And it is now installing. Okay. Let's close that one. Save. Enter your password. Update your system, of course. It is now updating. So let's wait a little bit. Just click yes or Y. So we have a total of 173 installation of the package. Then we will reach 100%. Everything will be done, and then we will update our system with the Endeavour OS update YAY. Let's wait for another few minutes, maybe 2 minutes or 5 minutes to install everything like the updates right now. After the updates, we'll have our reboot. So let's reboot and be back after this. So let's continue with our system updates. Everything is all set. Let's clean up the configuration first. Now the notification, display manager, yeah, that's okay. Change resolution, which is right now, that is the default, and stay with that one. And quit. So let's go to our general settings, which is go to their official website. So let's full screen that one. So take control of your hardware, which is right now I'm in control. Whatever I want, whatever I do, it is full control with the operating system and its hardware. And at the same time, not only that, but also the software. Compared to the others like the Windows and the Apple, you can have the full control of your hardware and software. So in Linux, we are full control. That is why it is maintained not by corporation but by organization. So let's zoom in a little bit so that you can see everything. Like, welcome to Endeavour OS. It is a Arch-based distro, which is distribution that provides a Arch experience without the hassle of installing it manually for the both 64 and 86 architectural and at the same time the ARM-based system. After installing, you will provided by the lightweight and most bare bones environment ready to explore with your terminal, along with the built-in welcome app as powerful guide to guide you and help you along the way. If you are curious to exploring the operating system, use the magnet or the torrent link below or select any of the mirrors you download on the Galileo ISO Endeavour OS GNU Linux. So download the magnet link via a torrent, and of course you have this as mirrors. I'm here in Thailand right now, so we have Thailand right here. I think we have, but it is not reflecting into the official operating system website, which is probably based on KKU. I'm just away, a few kilometers away from Konkan University, which is the server of the Arch and the mirrors of the Linux. So you have the ISO, of course. You also have some of this file like the SAM or the SUM. We also have the SIG file, which is also a ISO image. It is a community base, and if you are interested to join, just click on the GitHub. Yes, Git is actually made for Linux, but it was bought by Microsoft for their evil plans. No offense, Microsoft. The minimal system requirements for the Endeavour OS GNU Linux is just 3.5 gigabytes of random access memory with dual core processor, 64-bit and 86 architectural, and of course they also have the AMD 64, which is I'm using the AMD processor. 15 gigabytes of hard disk space or disk space or SSD or HDD. It depends on what hardware do you have. And at the same time, the installers should support the legacy system. And of course, the installers should support the legacy BIOS on your system, but also recommended to run the UEFI system, not only in legacy. It is easy to install, yes, with the user of the Calamares step-by-step guide in installing into your system. Offline or online, it depends on your likings. And we have different types of desktop environment. Now it is based on KDE Plasma desktop environment. Before it was based on FXCE. And they also have the GNOME, Mate, Cinnamon, Bungie, LXQT, LXDE, and i3. Basic installation ready to tweak no matter with different method do you have, the window manager or the desktop environment. You can choose on that basis. It is almost bare bones and you have to install it. By default has a Firefox web browser. It is free, powerful, and open source web browser. Pacman, the package manager of Arch repository. YAY, the terminal orientation AUR helper to install packages from your Arch user repository with ease. They also have the firewall ID to secure a basic firewall by default as public zone. Pipewire is a low-level multimedia framework that aims at capture and playback in both audio and video in minimal latency. And of course, it supports the Pulse audio. Downgrade, yes, you can downgrade at the same time with ease, with no problem. NVIDIA installer is also available in the terminal-oriented app that lets you easily install right NVIDIA drivers. So there you have it. There's a lot of information right here that to help you in your journey into the Endeavour OS Galileo has landed. So let's check out after this website visit. We have to close that one. So let's try to see the graphic user interface of the desktop environment. So right here on the left lower, as this is a KDE Plasma desktop environment, we have this application launcher or the start menu button. We have also the quick launch, which is in default. We have the Dolphin file manager, the console terminal, and of course our Firefox web browser. At the same time, on the right lower, we have the notification area, which is the network, the volume, the clip art, and all those stuff. And of course, we have arrow up, arrow down for other notification statuses and devices. And time and date, the same time right here. And our Windows peak. This is a KDE, so let's try to turn on the edit mode. As you can see, it is on the edit mode. We could move it, drag this one into the side if you want like this type of desktop environment, or on the right side or on the upper. So it depends on what you're liking, okay? So this is why I recommend KDE desktop environment or KDE Plasma desktop environment to use into your operating system, as you are highly customizable on this desktop environment. So after this, we are going to our desktop appearance. Let's right click again. We go to our desktop and appearance. Let's start with our desktop and wallpaper. So desktop and wallpaper, we only have few right here. We could like get new other than this three. We have the Endeavour wallpaper. So let's try to click this all new wallpaper. And then let's wait for that one. Okay, we have all the wallpaper. So let me see what kind of wallpaper are we using for this one. How about this one? I remember this one way back then. This cinnamon plasma. Okay, let's. So I decided to use the plasma wallpaper of the Endeavour OS. And let's go to the settings. So the system settings, yes. So we have the breeze and the dark mode, which is, let's turn on the dark mode so that we don't have any problems with our appearance. They also have the dark breeze right here. So you have the options to change your style, your plasma, your color, which is, I love the violet or lavender type of of color. Fonts right here, icons, cursors, is everything right here. Even the splash page, if you want to get new splash page, just get new right here. So there you have it. We have a lot right here to choose from. Cool, right? Okay, let's close this one. I don't want to put a lot. So you have all the system settings right here, from your notification to your user to your regional settings, accessories, applications, connection settings, input devices like your display at the same time. I'm using the 1080. Audio system, if you have a lot of audio inputs, but right now I don't put a lot of inputs right now. And of course, your about of your system. So in the word OS, it has the plasma version of 5.27.10. The frameworks of KDE is 5.112. So it is running in Xorg 11 graphics platform. I'm using only 8 gigabytes of random access memory with 16 threads of AMD Ryzen 7 5700U and the Radeon graphics GPU, but I'm using the virtual machine, so it is not showing. That's why it is showing the pipe wire right here. Virtual. So let's close this one and let's proceed to the, let me see, application. So we have a lot of folder right here. We have the development, graphics, internet, multimedia, office, system, settings, at the same time the other utilities. So we start with the development. We have the icon browser, QTs, Kate, our text editor. For graphics, we only have the Gwen viewer, which is the KDE image viewer. And of course, in our internet, we have Firefox for our internet browser. In our multimedia, the default or pre-installed application is just only the Haruna and MPV media player. At the same time, we also have the control, or we also have the pipe audio control. In our office, we have Ocular document viewer. In system, we have firewall, and of course system settings and YAD system, the simple graphics user interface editing of YAD system. In our system, we have a lot right here, from the Endeavour OS updater notification, information, updates, firewall, console, which is our terminal, info center, menu editors, and of course our system monitor. In our utilities, we have the archive manager, ARC, emoji selector, calculator, text editor, which is the Kwrite, and of course the spectacle for our screenshot, and system token. Oh, let me see. What is our software? Supposed to be, we have the discover for our software. So let's see software. So more apps. Let's try to check out the apps right here. So choose popular app installation. So we will try to look for example, we are looking for some video player or video editor or something. I love to use the VLC. Let's install that one. And of course, don't forget your password. So this is minimalistic. We only have the text terminal based. So it is a minimal type of installation. You don't have the graphic user interface type of installation. So yes, that is their software center, how to download. We have demonstration of that one. So let me see, what can I introduce to you. So anyway, that's our Endeavour OS GNU Linux operating system. Conclusion on this particular OS, it is a little bit like advanced, but at the same time it is a little bit easy. You're not obliged to open a terminal to download, but it helps you just a script of a terminal that you are not being forced to use a terminal to install the application. So the learning curve is a little bit like normal. It is easy, and at the same time it is not so hard. So it is just normal in the learning curve. And at the same time it is basically a Windows like, so you can always change it if you want to. Like this one, if you edit this one, edit mode, you can click this one and then show alternatives. For example, if I want to have a dashboard, let's switch that one and then close. When I click this one, it is now like a more on the graphics, right? The whole display is now occupied by applications, icons, and information. Right click and then go to the alternative launcher. We also have like the start menu application, like this one. At the same time, we also have another one, the menu only. So when you click, it is just like the old Windows XP. But I love the dashboard type. It is much like easier. It has the icon, it has the graphics, it has the names. So cool. Okay. So it is Windows like, and I really like this one. The installation is also easy, not too hard. It is easy because they have to inform you that after installing you have to do this by clicking only, not by typing any codes or something. So yes, Endeavour OS GNU Linux operating system is easy. So if you have some question, feel free to ask me. Write it in the comments down below. I'm your science teacher. I'm Blair. Catch another episode of OS operating system next time. And remember that science means knowing. That is why science is cool. Ciao.